welcome to the Questionnaires podcast, where each week we source the best questions from Yahoo Answers and attempt to provide the best advice from.
Are there any legal restrictions stopping me from writing the Bible too and selling it?
2.
Would Medusa have snake pubes?
You proved that every question
God.
deserves an answer. Joining with me this week, as always, is Marcus
Yeah, hello.
and Damien.
I quit after that.
Yeah.
Marcus told us he said, I've got a really good one. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is beforehand. And I knew I knew when he said that was a recipe for disaster. And he lived up to my expectations.
We should be making sure that Marcus, like everything that we can control what Marcus says, we should be doing that. In these situations, like that's the one thing we can basically say, Marcus, this is the question you read at the start. Everything else is like he can do whatever he wants.
I knew the moment I told you guys that question, you guys would have turned me down, shot me down. And I was like, no, I'm going to hide. I'm going to sneak this one in.
I've heard when you look at Medusa's pubes, you turn rock hard, is what I've heard. That's the...
Fits the story.
Rock hard, baby.
I figure, Tom, if you can't beat him, join him. I'm going to go down to Marcus's level now.
Look, guys, I'm going to have going to keep it a little bit of dignity and not even go there. But I did want to touch on Damien's question. If you were to call the Bible 2, as all good sequels have like a tagline at the end of it, what would the tagline be? Like, would it be Bible 2 Judgment Day? Would it be Bible 2 A Spirited Beginning? What would it be?
I was thinking Bible 2 Biblical Boogaloo.
right. Biblical Boogaloo, it's good.
I like that. I was thinking Bible 2, he's back, ... again.
Marcus, the Bible isn't just about Jesus. It's
Jesus. You know, but if you're going to have a Bible part, if you're going to have part 2, it's got to be more about Jesus, isn't it? Sure.
He's back. Who's back? Oh, Jesus. Who is it? Moses. Plenty of people in the
He's
Bible.
back comes 2 again.
Oh, that's good. How's it all going anyway, guys?
Yeah, good. I've actually been really active. Like I told you everybody the story about me running and breaking my phone, and that was the last run I did. But I decided, fuck that shit, fuck that noise. I got a case on my phone, and then I said, I'm gonna go running again. And I've been running all week, and I've been keeping everybody in our podcast up to track with my running skills. It's shit. Yeah. I accept that, but they're getting better slowly. So I feel better about myself.
That's good.
So just like Jesus, you are back. You refuse to be put down. ...
He's back
Again.
I've been good. I feel like this was a very uneventful week for me. I watched a lot of movies, and there was one that stood out for me. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the 2001 gem Miss Congeniality, starring Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, for sure.
I had not seen that film since I was like 9 years old.
Okay.
Because, that was a long time ago now.
Yeah.
And the only reason I saw it was because I went to a birthday party for a friend, and we were supposed to see Rugrats in Paris. That was sold out at the time.
Oh,
so
wow.
the lady at the counter said, hey, all you 9-year-old boys, you would love Miss Congeniality. So we saw that instead.
Sandy Bullock.
You know what? I actually remember not minding it at the time, and it happened to come on TV. And like when, for some reason, even with advertisements, you can't turn it was hard to turn off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Damon, there's one line I love in that movie where Michael Caine is doing the makeover, and he says when they're doing her eyebrows, he goes, eyebrows, there should be 2 of them. Great line.
It was funny, right? Because I do think, for the most part, the film holds up, although there are definitely some jokes now that it's kind of like, no, like Miss Congeniality would be miscancelled in 2020, I think would be for some of those jokes. But also, I don't know if you remember, like Benjamin Bratt's character, who's like the love interest in the film, he sucks. He's supposed to be like this suave, like charismatic dude.
Sexually harassing her in the workplace.
Do you know how the film ends, right? It blew my mind. They thought this was like a good way to end the film, right? So the whole thing is like they have sexual tension throughout the whole film, right? Back and forth, yada, yada, yada. And Sandy B, she's had her makeover. She's a bombshell now, right? And he says to her, how about you make yourself ugly again and I'll take you out. But it's not a date. And if we happen to have sex, then so be it. And she looks at him like he just recited Shakespeare. Sandy B is like smitten. And I'm like, am I in Bizarro world right now? Like, that wasn't smooth in 2001, let alone 1980. Like, it was horrible.
Yeah.
That is not a good pickup line. I don't think that worked one once for me. I tried.
Sandy B deserved better, but it was just wild to watch a film that I hadn't seen in, I don't know, like almost 20 years or whatever it is. It was kind of crazy and kind of fun to revisit it.
I feel like all movies, well, not all movies, but all movies that are set, like, let's say 20 years ago, they were all 20-year-old movie, but they're set at the time, they always have like really bad, like cringe, like moments that you just think to yourself, that won't fly anymore. Like there's a lot of movies like that.
Oh, I feel like that every time I watch a movie, anything like pre-2010, I feel, even sometimes sooner, you don't realize how quickly the world changes as far as like what's acceptable to be included in a script. Like it's landed on someone's desk and they've gone, I see no issues here, whereas now it'd be like, you can't say that.
Yeah. It's so true. I feel like comedy is a good litmus test for how far things have progressed. Like we don't laugh about things like that anymore. That's bad.
No, but like that's the only way you can better yourself is by changing. Can't change the past, but you can always change where you're headed and change how you do things in the future.
That's true. Speaking of the past, Tom, how has your week been?
Oh, well, look, I had a pretty good week, but I had a really bad pizza experience last night. Friday night, ordered a pizza. I figure, look, it's pizza night. Decided not to do the delivery services, like your Uber Eats and stuff. I thought, no, I'll order directly with the pizza store and I'll go pick it up. 20 minutes, it'll be ready, no problem. Get there in 20 minutes. I walk in, they go, it's not ready yet, but just go wait in your car and we'll bring it out to you. I said, okay, cool. That's not necessary, but I mean, I'm happy to wait inside. But anyway, I go sit in my car and I waited for another 30 minutes whilst watching people come and go with their food. Walk in and I'm like, waiting for this order for Tom. Guy goes up and like looks at where the heat, all the things are sitting on the heat lights, and he like looks over and I can see like I had a pizza and a pasta. I saw a pizza with a pasta sitting on top of it, and he's like, we need a polifungi like to the back, basically making it sound like we're waiting on that pasta. And I knew that was my order, and I was watching it, and like nothing changed on that order. And then about 5 minutes later, they grabbed that order and were like, "Here you go, ready." And I was like, no. I think the dude forgot to bring it out to my car. And this pizza had peri peri sauce on it. So a peri peri sauce is like, it's like a mayonnaise mix.
It's like a mayonnaise, yeah.
So when that's been sitting there for a while under the heat lamps, opened up the pizza box, and all of that had basically melted into like a puddle of peri peri sauce.
Oh, no.
And I just couldn't do it. And it was like, the problem was it was getting close to curfew, and I'm like, I need to get home, otherwise I don't want to cop a $1,500 fine because my peri peri pizza wasn't good. So it just sort of rubbed me the wrong way for the weekend, but I'm here to turn it around.
So you didn't eat it? You didn't eat it in the end? You left it?
I ate a couple of slices. I sort of lost my appetite. I had the pasta was all right. Pasta keeps well, but the pizza was just it was not a good time.
The rage was, I can imagine the rage flowing through Tom. I'm surprised he didn't say anything at the time, like when you're like, hey, hold on. I know this has been sitting here for a while.
I did say something. I did say to the guy, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's been sitting there the whole time. He's like, no, I'm pretty sure it just came up. And I'm like, fair enough. And I walked away.
So you were too scared to double down on what you said, Tom.
No, because you know what?
You know what I love about this as well? We preach advice to people like that. You'd be like, on our show, we answer questions like this and like, you should say something, and you can't even stand behind your own advice, Tom.
You know what? I was just like, I felt like I didn't want to be causing a scene I felt like I was so full of rage that saying nothing was better than saying something, because I'd probably get really like mad at the dude. But they're prioritizing all of their delivery services, and all of those people are coming in and out. Whereas I'm a paying customer, I pay straight to them, and they're good. So
Look, I will say I get it, and that was a total Mr. Congeniality move. That was very very nice of you.
Right, of course.
I would have done the exact same thing. I wouldn't have said boo. I would have just eaten the pizza. I said whatever. But I would have been fuming internally.
I was just in my head, I'm like, pizza's good. Pizza's always good. So worst case scenario, it'll be a little bit soggy. But anyway, I'm moving on for that. Enough about my problems.
Yes.
Enough about our problems. Let's answer the problems of the people of the world of Yahoo Answers, which is what we do each and every week. We find questions from the website Yahoo Answers and try to provide some advice to these people and help them on their way. That is how the show works. The other thing we do is we choose a theme for each week to name the question askers, and it's Marcus's theme this week.
Yeah, it's my theme this week. This week I've been wearing a lot of, during the whole COVID break, I've been wearing a lot of old raggedy t-shirts, and it got me thinking, everyone's got a free t-shirt that they just use around the house, like they would never wear in public. They just wear for maybe the gym, maybe to bed or something like that. They've received it for free. So I want you guys to sort of name your question askers about the t-shirt that you've been given. Some old raggedy t-shirt, like it. Surely you've got something.
I would love to hear your thoughts on it and on this t-shirt, and if it's a case of stolen valor or not. Yeah. I got a official firefighter t-shirt because one of my brother's friends was a firefighter. So I enjoy wearing it. It's very comfortable, but I'm always very conscious if I ever step outside the house with that on, because I don't want to be like, sealing the valor of these brave firefighters.
That's fair.
What's even funnier is imagine if, like, this is touch wood, of course, you're in a situation where your house has caught fire. You run outside. The firefighters are arriving to help you put out putting out the burning house of yours, and you were there with your false valor t-shirt on, and they're probably just like, "What are you doing? Hey, Officer 65, get in there," because it's got like your badge number on there or something.
And using my garden hose to try and put out a blazing fire. It's like he's clearly has no idea what he's doing.
Why are you in your slippers, 65? What are you doing?
And that's why I will venture as far as putting the bins out in that t-shirt. I would never wear it in a public forum.
Yeah, fair. Of course. All right, fair enough.
All right, so firefighter writes in, wasn't I just being a silly, dorky dad? I was cleaning out storage over the weekend and happened to find my Michael Myers mask from the Halloween films, not Austin Powers.
Baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah.
And remembered my daughter was having a mask required, socially distanced dance recital tonight. I decided to wear it to the recital as it would work better than a bandana, and I thought a little humor could lighten things up. I arrived late, but no one noticed me sitting down. As my daughter came on, I did a kind of slow Joker clap for humorous effect. So one of these ones.
Yep.
Classic, right?
Yep.
A bunch of heads turned to look at me, but I just kept it cool and looked straight ahead. As my daughter danced, a very Karen type of man ambushed me and told me to get out with that. I didn't like that he was interrupting my daughter's dance, so I told him I just wanted to enjoy the rest of the little lady's performance. He started getting loud, the music stopped, and I soon had to take my crying daughter home. Thanks to that idiot, the night was ruined. I didn't do anything wrong, right? Firefighter.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, firefighter. I think you misstepped here a little bit. How do
you lighten the mood with a Michael Myers mask? How does that make any mood light?
Maybe don't dress up as a character who's known for killing children. Like that's kind of his whole MO.
Yeah.
But not just that. It's a creepy fucking mask. It's not like he wore Big Bird's mask or something like that.
Even Big Bird's mask.
Even Big Bird's mask is a little bit creepy. I can accept that. But you're dressed as a killer, clapping weirdly in the back of a theater full of parents and young girls. Like, that's fun.
I just imagine while he's clapping to have like the theme music from Halloween, that and like for some reason Jamie Lee Curtis is in the audience. She has like massive sort of no, and runs away.
He's back. I do like that he tries to justify this move by saying this like $5 novelty rubber mask is more COVID appropriate than a bandana. Like those masks are made so you can breathe through them. Like you're not going to, you know what I mean? Like I don't know what his logic is with that at all.
I was just going to say it's, I don't know if you've worn one of those masks, Damien, but I could never breathe in those. I usually get very sweaty in there and I can't breathe in any of that.
It's not that you can't breathe. It's that you're getting high off the cheap like paint fumes that was used to make the mask.
the cheapest rubber ever, and the condensation of your breath just sort of filling up the mask.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I haven't seen, I know like masks are obviously a thing around here, but I don't think I've seen anyone be really sort of inventive with the mask. I've seen, there's a lady that works at the bread shop near me, and she has like, one of the, like a fabric masks over her face, but she's got like these big red lips on them, like so they look like just like imagine Donatello Versace sort of like mouth, and it actually like the scale of it is just not right. She just looks more scary than she would with just a black mask on.
She looks more like the Joker when he's got like those cut marks.
Yeah.
Like
she does have the Why So Serious mask on, but no one's been sort of super inventive, at least that I've seen in public.
No, the closest I've seen is somebody wearing like a welding mask, like something that covers the full face type of deal, which is a bit extreme, but I guess like that's as safe as it gets right there.
Seeing how we're in winter, I always wear like a hoodie. So I've got the black hoodie on that's covering pretty much all my face, and then a black mask. So it's pretty much like I look like a ninja, but like a fat, unfit ninja.
Oh, Marcus, I know you can probably relate to this. I don't know about your childhood, Damien, but I watched The Three Ninjas the other night. Marcus,
classic. Tum Tum.
Three Ninjas was just like my childhood, right? And what I just didn't realize about the plot was that like it was obviously at a time when like kung fu movies were big with like Jackie Chan and those sort of like mix of
martial
like
arts,
the Americanized martial arts movies were sort of really big, and so why not make them with kids? But like the whole plots are always just like there's some sort of mob boss that's doing some shifty shit, and he's like there's like a scene where basically the police have come